Hello, I'm Scott Bulky here with Spencer Oberbroeckling ahead of his fight against James Martin on October the 11th. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, yourself.
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming fight?
Right now going through camp, so just grinding every day, trying to get those runs and those workouts in, those sessions. Got a pretty good group right now, so right now I'm feeling pretty good. I know I can get better still with the amount of time I got left, so I'm gonna take good advantage of that and get my body right.
And is there, closer it gets, is there any more nerves because it is your professional debut?
Yeah, I'd say there's quite a few nerves actually. James Martin's 2-0. He's got pretty good. I think he's got a 100% finish rate right now, so a guy that's already got that experience, and I'm just making my debut. Kind of throw a little nerves out there, but I've got to deal with this. So I'm looking forward to what should be a pretty smart technical matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And you do come in here with a very good amateur record as well. You were the true revelation welterweight champion, as well as the cage aggression welterweight champion in the amateur scene. So you are coming in here with that, being able to hold titles. Do you feel like that's going to help you coming into this fight?
Probably be honest, no, not really. I mean, as far as the amateur and the pro thing goes, my amateur stuff means nothing now. I'm back to 0-0, bottom of the feeder. Um, James was even a pro or a champion as well as his amateur career. And so, he's got some pretty good accolades even then, but, once you turn pro, they don't really matter. Still having that winning streak, I guess, coming, in myself, it feels like,
Yeah,
still got that winning streak, but at the same time, it's like, I'm once again going from pro to amateur.
yeah.
Almost nothing I did in the amateur shouldn't really matter anymore because now it's a whole new level.
So you're kind of seeing this as basically like a reset of the career.
Oh yeah, essentially, yeah, just another reset. Like I can tell people I had a good amateur career, and then like if my pro career didn't turn out well, it's like I had a really good amateur career, but when it came down to it, I couldn't hack it as the pros, so it's like I don't really want to go that route. So I want to be able to say, I was a good fighter overall. So got to do it at the pro level.
And how does it feel knowing that as a professional, you do have a lot more things you are able to do? You're allowed to do elbows, there's a lot more stuff you are able to do in that cage. Were you training with that
Yeah,
beforehand? Or,
yeah, like so I've done jiu-jitsu and judo for a pretty good while, and I never tried to train 3 minutes even as an amateur. Like I would always try doing the 5 minute rounds every time. I wouldn't really practice using elbows and knees, but I would understand where they were, and every once in a while I'd mess around certain rounds. Like I'd be like, all right, let's throw some elbows and knees here. But for the most part, I wouldn't train hard with them, but I knew where they were, and we'd go over it a lot. So it's like a lot of the things as far as the pro level gives with the 5 minute rounds and the rule changes. I've already kind of worked my way to that.
yeah, exactly. And what made you turn pro? Was it your decision or was it your coach saying, you're now ready, let's try this?
It's kind of my decision. It usually is. So it's like I I had a pretty good stand up fight. My last fight, yeah, cage aggression. So I was really like, oh, now is probably the time. I'm not getting any younger. I'm already 30. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to want to have to try to do it now.
Exactly. And to make it any easier, like you're saying, your last fight as an amateur was with cage aggression, your first pro fight is with cage aggression. Does it make it any easier with that process, knowing that you're still with the same promotion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say so. Mike was pretty easy about keeping contact with, making sure everything was still set up and lined up. Um, he said, as far as the pro thing goes, you got your rule changes, the time change. As far as like any other paperwork and anything like that, he's like it's pretty much similar to the amateur. You might just have to do a thing here or two, but other than that, it's fairly easy process right now because I already fought for him. So Mike's already got a lot of my information, so that helped.
And how does it feel fighting in your home state?
I've I've fought here basically the entire time for my amateur career, I guess. So to me, it's nice. At the same time, I'm not against trying to go branch out to other states and fight. But it's pretty cool, like to uh, that comfortability being in the state at least, so I know I'm not too far away from anything if, my family still needs me or something
Yeah.
after.
And do you have the benefit of being able to train full time, or are you balancing a job as well as train?
Uh, I guess you could say I honestly am kind of a fighter part time essentially. I work with hogs. That takes up a lot of my time. Um, full time in a sense, like I do farrow to finish, and I raise baby pigs up till they get ready to go off to market, and then I also power wash a lot of times. That takes about 7 hours throughout my day, and then I got like 4 hours in the morning. So like there's days I don't get to train because of it, but I still try to make sure I run every day and get a small kettlebell workout in every day at the bare minimum.
And do you feel like that shows like the dedication that even though you are still working that full time, you are still making that time for the fighting and still being able to progress that way?
Yeah, I mean it would definitely be a lot nicer to try to get a lot more sessions in, but at the same time, I just like to fight too, so
Yeah,
therefore I kind of look at it as a hobby, while other people look at it as a job, which could get me in trouble, I suppose, in the pro scene. But at the same time, I just like to fight, so I'm willing to fight, and I like to train, so I train to make sure I don't get hurt too bad in these fights, so I can still do them. But make a little extra cash along the way with it. That's always a positive. So in a sense, it's like you do something you love, so it's not really like working.
and this is your second fight of this year. As long as there is no injuries, when are you looking to get back into the ring again, like Octagon again?
It'd probably have to be in 2025. I'm expecting my second daughter right around Thanksgiving, so it'll you know be an adjustment period there for a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 months. So like win or lose, no matter how this fight goes, I'm probably gonna have to take some time to be with my family with a newborn and a 1.5 year old. So we'll have to almost in a sense restart the process of balancing everything again.
And how is the support network at home with being able to train as well?
Say that again.
Like, how is the support network? Are they very supporting of you doing this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I just got to make sure it works out with the family in general,
Yeah,
so that way it's like I'm not planning fights around times where holidays or big family events or something that the wife wants to do. So I got to make sure you know I plan it out and we talk and communicate. So therefore, it makes everything a lot smoother and easier.
and how do you feel like this fight is going to play out?
I think it'll be a lot of back and forth. I think even as two good or two great technical jiu-jitsu guys that we are, he's got a good karate background. I don't really have too big of a striking background, but it's not like I don't train it. So,
Yeah,
I got a couple tricks. He's got a couple tricks. You know, I, Unfortunately, I think I've got more film to watch on his striking than he really does mine, other than my very last fight. But so, I'm thinking it'll probably be a back and forth. Might be more of a stand-up battle than people would think. And I personally think it'll probably go all the way. And I'm thinking I might win by decision simply because he's going to be a hard guy to finish, and I know I'm a hard guy to finish. Two hard heads meet like that, they're gonna just be stubborn, and they'll just see who can get the most done in that 15 minutes.
exactly. And like you said, there is a lot of film out there. How do you value film? Do you like to study it, or do you not just take that much into consideration?
Ah, I think film is very important to do that. Like, I usually watch it once I find out who my opponent is. Like right away, I'll watch it a couple times, and I probably won't watch it for like a couple weeks, just train and do all that, and then I'll probably go back and rewatch it in the next for the next couple weeks now leading up to the fight. So that way, a lot of my stuff I'm kind of preparing for the last couple weeks. I know tendencies and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
film, yeah, film would be very valuable.
and is there anything that you like to do either before a fight happens or afterwards?
Uh, I mean, I guess afterwards, it's definitely I like to eat. That's for sure. Before I just kind of try to stay calm. I just hang out with, my family, my friends, and maintain a positive, reinforced energy. So that way, I don't think too much about what I got to do because it's just, I'm gonna have a lot of emotions, everything going out there. So I just try to stay calm.
Yeah.
And once the cage shuts, I know it's go time.
And how did you get into MMA as a whole? I know you said you have got that jiu-jitsu and judo background. Like, how did you get into it, the fighting scene?
I think I started when I was 24, maybe. And I mean, it just at that, I always kind of wanted to do it. I think the thing that really made me more hook, line, and sinker for it was UFC 100. I got to watch Dane Henderson brutally knock out Michael Bisping, and Brock Lesnar ended up winning later that night too, I think. And it was just it was pretty cool. I always wanted to kind of be like WWE too, but um, after realizing wrestling isn't all pedigrees and stuff like that, they actually do double legs and single legs and stuff here in Iowa. So it's not like the WWE stuff. So I, you know, thought it'd be cool to try to do the MMA because you can basically be your own person and still get to cut promos once in a while and it's more real.
Exactly. And you feel like that's what you were always wanting to get into instead of when you realized it is more fake, the wrestling. You
Yeah,
were
I'd
wanting to be
assume so.
your own
Yeah, I'd
person.
assume. Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, I still have a lot of respect for that WWE business because as I got older, I learned a lot more things about it, like how they do all their stuff, which is cool. But MMA to me just kind of seemed to come along the way because I started judo when I was 10, and after that took off, they just I wrestled more. Then we started jiu-jitsu, and at some point, I was like, I got to try the MMA thing. And, you know, early 20s, I was kind of a rapscallion, so kind of reeled it back in right around the mid 20s to try and follow that dream. So hopefully I can just keep it going.
And how do you handle the nerves in the cage?
Uh, I guess I guess in the cage, like after the bell and everything like that, the nerves aren't really there as much anymore. I suppose the walkout and all that, like I just try to push them down and let it be known that like, hey, I can't really, I got nowhere to go. Like I'm in a cage. I can't just turn it and run hightail now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it. Like I'm not to sound like pussy, but I honestly get pretty scared trying to go out there because it's like, this other guy wants to hurt me, wants to do
Yeah.
damage. But for some reason, I don't know what it is, but like as soon as that cage door shuts and it's like just that switch flips and he's like, oh, I'm in it now. Like it's do or die. To me, it's almost like Gladiator. Like one of us has to walk out of the Coliseum and I'm trying to make sure it's me.
It's like the fight or flight instinct kicks in.
Yep, definitely. Live or die.
And obviously you are with Cage Aggression. Is that just one fight deal so far?
As of right now, yes, that's what it'll be. And yeah, like I said, I'll have to just look over options, but probably won't fight again until 2025 to, if they, regardless of the outcome, hopefully they'd be willing to have me back whenever they have their next show if it lines up right. Otherwise, I'll just have to see what can come my way.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on. That was great. I'll let you have the final word if there's anything else you're wanting to add, or if you want to shout out anyone.
Like shout out to my wife and my daughter, my second daughter, my teammates, Crucible BJJ here in Manchester, Iowa. A couple of my sponsors who helped make this happen, TNT Repair in Winthrop, Sparky's Place in Winthrop, Wellness Within Chiropractic here in Manchester, and Custom Hand Carvings by Tim Maston here in Manchester. So a couple of those shout outs there. And I want to thank you for having me on. It's very nice of you. I'm not used to the Zoom thing. I think it's only my second Zoom meeting ever. So, but I just had my first one last week. So it was working out. And that was for work.
Well, keep getting the wins and you'll get more of them.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.